Yo, we love saying it's your boy here, and today what I've got for you is the Formula E Berlin EPrix for you guys. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into this video. Right off the bat, we had Lucas di Grassi really struggling in qualifying. He only managed 10th place, the championship leader. 10th place, really sad to see, to be honest, because I would have loved to have seen the intense battle for pole position between the two championship rivals, but whatever, it is what it is, you know, you're not quick enough, so that's results, yeah. But to add insult to injury, his championship rival, Buemi, actually got into the Super Pole, so wow, yeah, that put a lot of insult to injury, pretty much. And to top it off, Sam Bird, another of his championship rivals, in 6th place ahead of him, so that really put a sting in the tail for Lucas di Grassi. But Lucas, you know, knows that there's a race to go. You know, he can sort this out, he can come back from that position. We've seen it many times, particularly with Buemi, who came from the back to 2nd, so it's not all lost. He can still come back from this, so yeah, I mean, he's just got to dig deep, hold his ground, and yeah, I think he will mount a real challenge in the last part of the race, so yeah. And then also in qualifying, we had a couple of little slides, nothing really particular, to be honest, just the odd like little tail coming out, no real accidents, so that was the good thing. Also, another big name that was really pushing hard was the Mahindra boys. Good God, what the hell, what kind of speed do they have? Both Mahindras into the Super Pole, that's insane. I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, they've been kind of been in the back end, to be honest, throughout the season, and to see them now in the forefront is insane. So yeah, big props and big ups to Mahindra, definitely. And then as we go into Super Pole, the top 5 were Buemi, Vern, the 2 Mahindras, and I believe Apt, so yeah. And then as Super Bowl got underway, the 2 Mahindra boys had a real struggle throughout the session. They struggled to really get their laps together, and as a result, both Mahindras would be starting 4th and 5th. Apt tried hard, he would settle for 3rd place, and then really it was the battle between Jorik Vern in the TS Virgin car and Sebastian Buemi in the Renault E-Dams. Now, Buemi went last, he pushed hard, he gave it everything, but in the end it wasn't good enough to beat Jorik Vern, who did pip Apt after Apt set provisional pole. So as a result, Vern was on pole position for the Berlin EPrix, his 3rd pole, I believe, in a while, not since probably Argentina, I would say, maybe Uruguay. So yeah, it's been a very long time, but thankfully he has now got a pole position to his name. That's awesome, that's great to see, to be honest. Also great to see that Jorik Vern is taking also the fight to Bird, actually. Bird struggling in 6th place, and then his teammate on pole position. That's something to be sort of rooting for as well. You know, the fact that he's beaten his teammate for the, he's out-qualified his teammate for the first time in kind of a while, to be honest. So yeah, good on him for that. But before the race got underway, shock drama actually happened, and that was the form of the Mahindras. They actually got excluded from qualifying for tyre pressure issues. What the hell? Really? Like, this is just insane. 2 Mahindras starting for 15 and 16 after starting 4th and 5th. Wow! Jesus Christ. That is just mental, man. I mean, I was absolutely surprised, to be honest, because I thought, you know, for something like that, surely they can get away with that, to be honest, but they got caught, and as a result, they had to pay the price. I'm kind of a bit skeptical on this. Half of me is like, oh, they deserve it, because, yeah, they exceeded tyre pressures, and now, yeah. But half of me is like, oh, it's such a shame, because they literally had the best qualifying ever. So yeah, I think, honestly, I don't know, I mean, at the end of the day, they did exceed tyre pressures, so yeah, I guess they got what they deserved. And then now, all of a sudden, that meant that Bird was actually promoted to 4th place, and di Grassi up to 8th, so that was good for di Grassi and good for Bird too, especially as Bird needs to sort of get a good result to sort of help his championship chances going into the final race at his home turf at London. So yeah. So, right off the bat, we had a good start from Jorik Verne. He got away cleanly, but then when we got an even better start, even took the lead of the race going into the first turn. A very, very bold and very clean pass down the inside of Jorik Verne, but it wasn't over. Jean actually fought back, got right to the back of Sebastian Buemi, got ahead of Sebastian Buemi again, and Verne took the lead of the race from the Renault driver of Sebastian Buemi, and then Abt in third and Bird in fourth. But then on lap 6, Buemi came back at him again, down the inside, a very, very tight manoeuvre. It was very, very close between them as they came into the hairpin, but thankfully Buemi was able to get ahead of Verne, really ahead, and really stretch a lead on Jorik Verne behind. And yeah, check this move out, it was so sick.
Game from Buemi, and look at that. Oh, goodness me, that was close. And that was just about a card's width.
And then afterwards, shock drama, and that was Sam Bird, who had to go into the pit lane. He got a black and orange flag for damage to his front wing, and basically he was saying like, oh, the front wing was good, but the FIA didn't approve, and as a result he had to come into the pits. High drama, especially as he was third in the championship, and as a result he was out of the title challenge.
And you can see it there, it's wobbling. It's wobbling around, so he must have had a little bit of contact out there somewhere to just loosen.
And that was a huge shame, especially as the final rounds of the championship would be held in London in his home race. That was huge, massive for him personally and mentally as well. I mean, that is just extremely tough, to be honest, because literally he has been given the bad luck of the century throughout the last 3 races. What with him crashing into the wall with about 10 to go, then what else? Him running wide in Paris with about 13 to go to lose second place. I mean, it's just been drama after drama after drama after drama, and I'm just thinking, when is this all going to stop? When is this all going to come to an end? So yeah, Bird's not really had a good amount of luck in the past 3 races for him, so yeah. And as a result, as they came into the pit lane, Buemi got out well ahead, to be honest. He was like, what, 6 seconds ahead of the pack before the pit stopped, so he was well ahead. He was obviously going to take the lead. Behind, Abt got ahead of Lucas de Grassi, but Lucas de Grassi actually got ahead of Verne. And Prost got ahead of Verne as well, so that meant that Verne dropped as 5th, and then really just dropped off from the rest of the pack, which is unfortunate. But he really was struggling throughout the entire race, to be honest, so yeah.
Off. Let's look at it again.
Yes, of course, understood.
He went under the front wheel of the chicane, and he's still not close enough, and Verne loses his front wing. And surely he's not going to be able to hold that position, he's not.
And as a result, that led to a really good battle in the last few laps between de Grassi, Abt and Prost, as they were all battling for second place. It was a really, really good battle. Lucas de Grassi actually had more energy than the 2 combined, which meant that he could push as hard as he can and really mounted a challenge to the 2 guys ahead of him. First, he did it on Prost, a very, very bold manoeuvre to take 3rd place. It was a very, very critical manoeuvre, especially for his championship, because he was apparently about 6 points behind at the time, but then as he made that move, he was now ahead by 1 point. And in the final few laps of the race, that meant that Lucas de Grassi was actually behind Abt, which meant that the team could easily pull a team order to help de Grassi in his championship chances. But with a few laps to go, we had an accident, and that was Loic Duval. He actually hit the wall very, very hard. He lost the rear end, spun it, hit the wall very hard, and that was it for his race, which meant that a safety car was called. Unfortunate for Loic Duval, he ran a really good race. I think he was running 10th at the time, so unfortunate, looking for some points. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? It's one of these races, to be honest, and it really sucks for him as well. He's had 2 retirements in 2 races, which is insane. He had that little problem in Paris, I believe it was, with like an engine or whatever it was, and then this. I mean, it's just not going his way, to be honest, and hopefully he can bounce back in the last 2 remaining races. So because of all of this, that meant the safety car came out, and as a result we were left with 2 laps to battle out for who was gonna like get who's going to win this sort of things here. The safety car came out and we had 2 laps of racing to go. Lucas Di Grassi was really harrying Daniel Abt. Daniel Abt being told on the radio they had to give the place to Lucas Di Grassi because Lucas was fighting for a championship, and Lucas really trying to get ahead. Abt wouldn't get he just ignored the team orders and kept on racing Lucas Di Grassi and kept ahead of Lucas Di Grassi, which is kind of weird to be honest, because you know, I don't see Abt as a guy who would do something like this, to be honest. I thought he would be, you know, as a respectful teammate, letting Di Grassi through. I know it's not a good thing to do, you know. It's to me, it's not something I would like to do, to be honest, because, you know, I wouldn't want to give my teammate the place, to be honest, because when you're racing, when you're out there, all you're thinking about is your teammate. All your #1 target is your teammate, and to get beaten is is really annoying. But to be beaten in such a way like this really sucks. Really sucks. And I understand, you know, Abt not letting him through initially because, you know, you don't want to do that, to be honest. I mean, you love to beat your teammate. You would love the opportunity to beat your teammate. I mean, if it was me, I'd take the opportunity 100%, grab it with all arms. I don't care if it was if the guy behind was racing for a championship. I wouldn't let him through. So yeah, and as a result, at the end of the race, Wayne comes home to take the win. A great drive by him, but in second place, Abt takes it to Di Grassi. So actually, Abt kind of screws Di Grassi over in terms of the championship. And as a result, Di Grassi now leads by 1 point over 12 before the race. So that is insane. That is truly insane. I mean, literally, there are just going to be massive amounts of words being said in the Audi Sport Abt team, to be honest, because literally they gave Abt a clear instruction to let him through, but he didn't. And I rate Abt for doing that, to be honest, because literally, if it was me, I would have done the exact same thing, to be honest. I don't care. I would have done the exact same thing. I don't care about the consequences. I would have literally done the same thing. So yeah, man. So big ups to him. But still, very frustrating for Lucas Di Grassi. But at the end of the day, that's racing. These things can happen. I mean, it is tough. I mean, it really sucks because he was gonna let him through and he didn't. So I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. But anyways, it was a really good race. The results were Wayne first. Abt in second, Di Grassi third. I believe fourth was Prost, good drive by him. Fifth was, I believe it was Sprint, good drive by him. Sixth was Vern. Seventh was, I believe it was Simone Di Silvestro, good drive by him. I think it was her best of the season. Great drive by her. She actually had a really good race. I forgot to mention her. She had a really good race. She actually pulled some really good overtakes. So yeah. Eighth was Heidfeld, I believe it was. Good drive by him, especially coming from 14th. He actually had a really good race. I forgot to talk about him as well. He actually had a really good race. He actually made some really bold passes, particularly on the last corner. So yeah, big ups to him there. Ninth, I believe it was it was D'Ambrosio, I believe it was. I'm not entirely sure. And then afterwards, I really don't know. But what I do know is that Bird finished in 14th after the race. Very frustrating. And that, as a result, that meant that he was officially out of the championship. So that is unfortunate. Had a golden opportunity to really take the fight to the 2 leaders, but as a result, just didn't go his way. Hopefully he can actually end it on a high and maybe win like he did last year. Anyways, that is it for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below what you thought about the race. Was it good? Was it exciting? Was it awesome? Let me know down below. Also hit a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Your boy, I'm out. Peace.